Hi everyone, especially people in my yoga classes. We're definitely improvising right now. So this is my seated yoga class. I'm doing it outdoors right now so we get some good lighting, and feel free to follow along. As I tell everyone when they're doing the class, do what feels right for you. If there's a certain stretch or pose or exercise that's a little uncomfortable, you can skip it or you can modify it as you need. So we're going to start with easy breathing and leading into warm-ups. So let's begin just with some deep breaths. As you breathe, stretch your arms up. Slow exhale, lower your arms down. Again, breathe in through your nose if you can. And you can exhale through your nose or your mouth, whichever feels right. Okay, we're getting oxygen into our body here. And getting ready to move. I like to start with very simple exercises for the neck and shoulders. We often feel stiff in that area or carry some tension. So we're going to just start with some shoulder shrugs. As you breathe in this time, lift your shoulders up by your ears and let them relax. We all need to release a little tension right now. So breathe in. Let those shoulders relax. Sometimes you don't even realize you're holding your tension there until you do this. And again, one more time. And relax. Now we're going to start moving our necks. And just remember, if you have a very stiff neck, just go easy, take it slow. We're going to turn and look across one shoulder. If you can't turn all the way to the shoulder, just turn as much as you can. That is your range of motion. And back to the other shoulder. And turn and look again. And back the other way. Keep the shoulders relaxed as you're doing this so that your neck moves easily. And then we're going to do forward and back. Bring the chin slowly down to your chest and look upwards. I'm looking at the sun right now, so I'm closing my eyes. And head goes down again. As you lift up, don't drop your head back too far. Your head is a heavy object, so just enough to lift your chin up, looking upwards. And then holding the head level. And now we're going to tilt the head side to side, leaning the ear towards the shoulder. This one is sometimes a little more difficult for some people. You're stretching this long muscle down the side of the neck. As you do that, remember you're bringing your ear to your shoulder, not your shoulder to your ear. So keep the shoulder relaxed and let the head release. Good. Now we're just going to look down to one shoulder, like there's a bird sitting on your shoulder. Look down to the other shoulder. Look up above your shoulder now, up to one side, and up to the other side. And again, all very simple neck exercises. You can repeat them as much as you need to. Once we get the neck and shoulder stretched, we're going to stretch our whole back now. So with your feet flat on the floor, sitting straight up, stretch your arms, and we're going to reach back in our chairs. Just a nice big stretch. Lean forward, down towards your toes, just hanging over. Let your head go, let everything hang loose. Let's do that again. Big stretch back. And stretching down towards your toes. And up. And just as we stretched our neck in various directions, we're going to do the same thing with our back. So we're going into a twist now. Bring your hand to your opposite knee. Depending on the height of your chair, you can lean on the back of the chair, or you can hold your arm behind you. And then to the other side. Reach to the opposite knee. And stretch. I'm looking towards you, but you can look back at your arm. You can also do it leaning on your knee, opening the arm upwards. You're going to feel a nice stretch in the shoulder there. And then lean on the other knee. Open that arm upwards. And another way to twist, just nice and easy. Bring your hands together here and just side to side with your elbow. Sometimes you feel something creaking back there. It's good, loosening everything up. All right, we're also going to practice just reaching straight forward rather than down so that we're stretching our lower back muscles. Straight out. Just hold that stretch. And now bring your hands to your waist. Now that we've stretched forward and back and done our twist, we're going to just do some circles around. Moving around in your chair. Good. And back the other way. All right, moving our whole torso. And then getting ready to do some side stretches. Hands up to the side or the back of your head. Just don't push your head forward with your hands. Just keep the head lifted up straight so your ears are right over your shoulders. Take a little tilt to one side. And up. We're going to start small, just a small side stretch here. Feeling it up the side of the ribs. Up the side of the ribs. Good. And stopping in the middle, we're just going to look up for a moment. With your elbows out like this, you get a really good stretch across your pectoral muscles, really opening up in the chest. All right, then arms down by your side. Another way to do a side stretch, reach down like you're picking up something from the floor, hold that other elbow up. And back the other way. And again, elbow up. And elbow up. All right, we're ready for a few more action exercises now. We're going to start with cactus arms here. And start with going side to side, little twist with the cactus arms. And then fold the arms down and up and bring them in and out. And we'll do that again. Little side to side twist, holding those arms out. That keeps your chest open as well. And then fold arms down and up and together and out and down. Then we do some moves that imitate sports moves or activity moves. So this one is swimming. We're just going to swim forward. Reach out and swim. And swim. Reaching out. And I usually count to 8 because dancers love to count to 8. So that was 8. Palms together and swim back. Palms together, swim back. Good. Push out. That's working those lower back muscles again too. Good. Push and back. And now the back stroke. This is a big swing for your shoulders. So depending on if you have issues in your shoulders or trouble with range of motion, you can do little smaller ones out here. Just walking lightly, slightly, and lightly. All right, good. And clasping your hands. No, now we're going to churn some butter. Reach out and in. Out and in. Reaching out. The bigger the motion, the more you're using your whole body to do this so that you feel it, and then scooping back, digging the ditch. And now, paddling a canoe, side to side. Same thing, we're just going to keep those hands locked, move side to side. This one you feel a lot. And this one we like to call stirring the cauldron. Going around, big circles around. Really feel that in your back muscles there. And then back the other way, switch around. Loosening everything up. And now the hardest one, And again, modify if you need to. This is overhead, twirling a lariat, right over your head. And you're going to reach some of those back muscles that you didn't feel with the other variations. And coming back. Good. Ready to bounce a ball. Moving across your lap now. Push the hand down, push it down. Over, over, and push. 6, 7. This is what my friend Mary called shut the door now. Push out, push out, push, push, and stretch. 6, 7. And now reach for that top shelf. Stretch up, reach up. 3 and 4 and stretch. 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to do it with both hands. Same time. Big bounce. 2, 3, 4. A little faster. 6, 7. Push out. Push out. Push out. 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and overhead. Up, up, and 3, 4. Pushing up. Push. 7, 8. All right. One more action now, sports action. We're going to do some boxing and make a tight fist. This is good for your hands too if you want to move your fingers around, get them loosened up. Make a tight fist, relax your shoulders, keep your elbows close, and punch out. Push, push, and snap it back. 6, 7, and double punch now. The old 1, 2, and 2, and 3, and 4, and push, and 6, 7, and 8. For this next section, we're going to do more full body poses, more poses that relate to traditional yoga. And again, for my people that are used to doing a regular yoga class, this one is not just for people who need to do sitting exercises. I'm hoping that this whole workout will be for anyone of any age. So we're going to turn in the chair for this one. Good. And you want to sit up as tall as you can. And we're going to start with just some hip movements when we get our hips loosened up. So you're going to just lift the knee, swing it out, in and down, and lift and stretch out, in, down. Good. And everyone has a different range of motion here. Some people's hips are looser than others, but just as far as it can go out and down. And then we're going to reach behind our backs, clasping our hands. This is called open heart because it expands your chest. You're going to pull your arms as straight as you can. Again, looking upwards, opening your shoulders. This is really good if you have a rounded back or a stooped over. You're going to use this to stretch your back. Now we're going to lean forward. If you can lift your arms, go ahead and lift them. If not, you can leave them on your back. But if you can lift them up, you get a little extra shoulder stretch. And relax. We're going to put the leg out to the side now. And again, we're opening that hip. We're going to fold our arms. I just call this the airplane. It's another side stretch, but a little deeper now. We're going to stretch towards the toe and back up. And reach out and back up. And again, stretch out. Up. One more time. Reaching out. And up. Bring the leg in. And now, in regular yoga, in Hatha yoga, we do our warrior poses. Usually there's warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3. We're going to start with a warrior 2. So towards the edge of your chair, drop your knee down. Now some people can't push their leg back past this point, so that's fine. We're trying to stretch these hip flexors here and also down in the quads. So if you can lengthen the leg back, you're going to be in a classic warrior 2 pose right now. And then stretch the arms straight out so that your nose, your hand, and your knee are all lined up. The other arm is open to the back. Good. Here's warrior 2. Then we're going to go into a side bend, leaning on that front knee. Back to a crescent. You're going to put your hand on the back leg, hold the arm up. This is a pose that might feel a little constricted, so don't go too far. And then we're going to go down into triangle pose, only since we are seated, the front knee is bent. You're going to reach down by your ankle. It's not as hard as it looks. I have a 93-year-old lady that can do this. She's going to stretch down there. Good. Lift back up. And now we're going to go to Warrior One, bringing the hands together or slightly apart. People with wider shoulders, it's often hard to keep the hands pressed together overhead. So keep your hands slightly apart if you need to. Reach upwards. This is a big back stretch. Again, if you're feeling pinched in your lumbar back, release forward just a little bit. And then we're going to go into a forward bend over the knee. Good. Now by this time, some of you, your hips might be saying, that's enough. So bring the leg in. We're going to turn to the front. Just rest the hips a moment. Maybe do a little side-to-side stretching. Again, to loosen up. We're going to do the whole thing on the other side. This is the part where I have to remember exactly what I did. So sitting up tall again, we're going to do the knee swing, lifting up, out, and down. Lifting. The birds around me approve. And lift up, and stretch. And one more time. Good. You may find that one hip is a little tighter than the other, and that's just normal. Reaching behind you now for our open heart. Clasp and look up. Open those shoulders as much as you can. These are really good for those pectoral muscles. Lean out again. Lift your arms if you can, or leave them on your back. Up again. Release the arms. Let's put the leg out to the side. Folding the arms again, we'll do those airplane arms and stretching down and back up. And stretching down and up. And again, reach down. Remember, you're not trying to touch your toe, you're just trying to do a good stretch here. So there's no rule that says you have to get to your toe. Bring your knee in, and we'll get ready to do the warrior on this side. This is a different chair than I'm used to, so it helps if you have a chair that works with you. Let's start with our warrior 2. Okay. Lifting up nice and tall from your waist. And leaning into that side bend. You want your arm right overhead, not in front of you, but nice and high overhead. And come back, lean on the back leg to your crescent. And then over to that triangle. Ideally in triangle, you want a straight line from one arm right up through the other arm. And I have very crooked elbows, so I never get that nice straight line. My elbows are very hyperextended, but just so that you feel that line mentally. Lifting up. Bring your hands together or slightly apart, and up we go to warrior 1. Good, nice long stretch. And over to forward bend. Good, and tuck your knee in. All right, let that leg release. Remember, if you get a cramp, come out of a pose right away, because that's happened to me. So as soon as you feel a cramp coming on or your muscles start to tremble, just come right out of that pose. We're going to bring the feet a little apart. It's very hard to work on core muscles or abdominal muscles strictly sitting down, but we're going to do the best we can. So hands behind the head. We're going to reach to the opposite knee with the elbow and up and across. Good. And you will feel your stomach muscles now compressing just a little and up and over. Good. Let's do 8 of these. This always reminds me of PE class. Over. One more time. Over and up. All right. Bring your feet back. And then a little bit for the arms and shoulders. This is another exercise that some people have to modify. It's called the eagle pose. Eagle arms. You start out And again, if you have wider shoulders, it's harder to do this, but you're going to try and cross above the elbows, wrap the arms. Now, if you can't cross above the elbows, you can just do a modification. All we're going to do is lift the elbows slowly. Nice big stretch up and down. You're going to feel that in your latissimus dorsi muscles. And stretch. Now bring the other arm on top. And again, you can do the modified version. And stretch up. And back down. Now this is going to work your pectoral muscles. Elbows together, palms together. You're going to try and lift your arms without your elbows coming apart. So you're really going to feel those chest muscles working. Open your hands and now press with your hands. Activate those hand muscles all the way to your fingertips. Press through to the fingertips. A little bit of isometric tension there. Touch your elbows together. Push up. Come back down. Press the hands. And yes, this does put a little tension in your shoulders doing this. So relax the hands now and release the shoulders. We are now ready for our weights. This next section, we're using hand weights. You can use any weight that feels right for you, 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound. I have a friend that uses 5 pounds. She really pushes it through. I only have my 1 pounds here because my others are back at the community center. But any kind of weight works. And you can do it without weights if you've got some kind of injury as well. This part, before we start lifting the weights, we're going to practice standing up and sitting down. I especially do this for my older students because it's a skill that we need to keep doing. So, when you're about to stand up from a chair, lift your weight upwards, lean forward slightly. You're going to push, stand up, sit back down. And again, if you can't do this part, if you're strictly in your chair, then the variation is just to lift your arms up and down. You can also pretend that you're about to stand up and then sit back, because even that activates some of these hip muscles to help you get up. All right, let's go through our weightlifting routine. We're going to start with the palms up, elbows close, just basic bicep curls. Up, and lift, and up, and lift. 6, 7, 8. We're going to go to 12. Some of these I go to 12 because it doesn't start to kick in until the last 4 and up. Then we do the same thing with both arms. Up, and 3, and 4, and curl up, and up. 7, 8. If you need to go slower, you can. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. Next exercise, straight down by our side. I'm going to have to remind myself to keep counting because my friend Sherry usually reminds me if I get off task. We're going straight out to the side and down. Just shoulder height, straight out and down. Lift and lift and keep going. And 6 and 7 and 8. Now bring the weights out and just hold them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And lower down. All right, same thing going forward. Just shoulder height and back down. Shoulder height. Try not to do big swings. You're practicing on using strength to lift rather than to just swing the arms all over the place. So you want to lift up and down and lift and up and up. All right, ready to hold the weights now. And holding. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And lower. Good. Bring your weights together now. Holding them to your chest, we're going to push to each side. Push out and in. Out and push and push and out and 6 and 7 and 8. Good. And lowering back down. And now lifting straight up to the shoulders. Bending and lift and up and up and lift. 6, 7. We're going to do 12 of this one because it's one of the easier ones, so we'll do a few more. 11 and 12. When you push the weights out away from your body, it's usually harder than if you're keeping them close. So this one is also a little bit harder. Hold them straight out and just close out, in, out, in, out, and out, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. All right, one of the hardest muscles to work on is your tricep muscle at the back of your arm. For this one, we're going to curl forward first for the bicep. Turn your wrists back and push behind you for the tricep. That'll help lift your arm. Curling up, pushing back. Curling up, turning the wrist to push back. Up, back, and lift, and push, and lift, push, and lift. Now we're just going to do the second part of that, lifting. This is where you're going to feel your triceps, lifting straight back. 3, and 4, and lift, and 6, and 7, and 8, and now holding the arms for strength, and hold back there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax your arms. Good. Relax your shoulders for a moment. Working with the weights together again. This one actually will help your core muscles work a little bit. We're going to hold the weights right between the knees and lift the arms up overhead. Good. And yes, your stomach muscles do help lift your arms and those weights up. And lift up. And lift up. Go as high as you can. You can even go behind your head if you want. Or stop where you need to. If you can only get this high, that's fine. And stretch up. And we'll do one more. And up. Good. All right, back to our cactus arms. Now that we're holding weights, you'll probably feel it a little more, but we're going to bring the arms out and just close them together. In, and 3, and 4, and together. 6, 7, 8, we're going to do 12 of these, 10, 11, and 12. At this point, sometimes the arms are starting to get a little tired, so this is the cross shoulder one. It's one of the easier ones, so that your arms can have a little break, but you're still working out. And if it feels way too easy, you can hold your arms in the air off your lap and make them work a little bit more. Up to you, on the lap or off the lap. And we're just going to do one more exercise now. This is one of the harder ones, so we save it for the end because then you feel like once it's done, it's done. Pushing straight up. Push up, push, and up, and up. Push. 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, and 12, and finally both together. Here we go. Heave ho. Up, 2, and 3, and 4, and push. 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, and 12. Good. And you can put the weights down. Right after that, we usually stretch our hands out because you've been gripping those weights and sometimes you don't realize you've got that tension in your fingers, and your fingers need to exercise too. So, holding your hands out to the side, just open and close your fingers as quickly as you can. Give them a good stretch. This is good especially if you have arthritis or if you've got problems with your wrist, stiffness in your fingers. Then we're going to curl in one at a time. Make a tight fist and open. Curl in and open. Curl in, curl in. Good. Bring your hands forward just to get your shoulders into a different position. And flip up, lower the wrist down. Lift up, lower down. Lift up and down. Lift up. Ready to do some jazz hands now. Stretch up and jazz hands. And together. Jazz hands, nice big stretch together. Stretch out and in. Stretch out and in. Good. Lace your fingers. give a push out, stretch overhead, big reach again, and down. And now we're ready for our lower body. A little more workout for our feet and legs, and slightly aerobic at one point because we want to get our heart rate up a little bit. So I like to start with the feet. I like to make sure we work every part of our bodies, including our feet, because sometimes the toes and the feet get stiff as well. So we're going to start just toe tapping, like you're keeping a beat here, just tapping one toe at a time. And tapping, 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 tapping. All right, lift them both together now. Stretch up, stretch up. You're going to feel these muscles working, and up, and stretch, and 6, and 7, and 8. All right, now hold the toes up. And you can flare your toes out and stretch them too if you can. Those toes definitely need to stretch, especially if you're in your shoes all day. And down. Same thing with your heels now. Dropping the heels. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop the heels. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pushing up on your heels now. Stretching your arches. And down. Stretch. And down. Stretch. And stretch. And lift. And 6. 7 and 8. Good. Now hold your heels up. You feel your calf muscles here working. Again, if you get a cramp, come on out of it, but hold and down. All right, opening your toes now. Out, 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 and toes. 6 and 7 and 8. Now your heels. Push your heels out. Push, push. 3 and 4 and push and 6 and 7 and 8. All right, moving our hip a little more again. Get ready to do this part. We're going to cross over, tap your toe. Cross over, tap your toe. Over and tap. Over and tap. Again. And out, in, out, in, out, in, and out. Good, we got our hips warmed up for that one. Let's do the other side and out. In and out. In and cross over, and 6, 7, and 8, and out. Now we're going to do some knee lifts, and again we'll be activating our hips a little bit, and we're going to do a continuous fast motion back and forth on this so that you also get a little bit of a heart workout. So we're going to start just with knee lifts. Up we go, up to the elbows, up and lift, and up and lift. Now switch to a little dance here, a little Russian kick dance. 2, 3, 4, and kick, and 6, and 7. Knees up again. This time reach under your knees. Under, 3, 4, and under. 6, 7. Back to kicking, but push out. Push, push. 3, and 4, and push. 6 and 7. Opposite hand to knee. Lift up, 3, 4, up, 6, 7, and now kicking with your arms up, 3 and 4, and kick, 6, 7, 8, and now just some marching in place. When you use your arms and your legs together, you work your heart more, and especially when your arms are above your head. So some little marching here, back and forth, swinging the arms, swinging. Should have your heart rate up just a little bit now, and some quick jogging, run, and slow down. All right, slide out just a little bit because we want to stretch our legs in front of us, and we're going to lift our legs off the floor. This will ease our stomach muscles again. Lift, and lift, and up, 7 and 8. All right, hold those legs out there. Let's do some little ankle crosses back and forth. All right. Back and forth and down. Scoot in again just a little. This time we're going to just lift from the knees, bunny hop. It's actually a little bit harder than with straight legs. So lift the knees up and lift and up and lift up and 6, 7, and 8. Good job, bunny hops. All right, lean back. Let's put the leg out again. One leg at a time now, just for strength. Stretch up, stretch up. 3, 4, stretch up. 6, 7, 8. Hold that leg, nice and strong. Lots of tight muscles here. Again, if you get a cramp, especially in the quads, bend your knee, release the leg. And the other side, lift up, lift up. 3, 4, and lift. 6, 7, 8. And hold this leg. And stretch. Hold it. Again, bend the knee to release that muscle. And down. And now just kick. Push out. Push out. Push. Push. And push. 6, 7, and 8. Other leg. Give it a push. 2, 3, 4. Push out. 6, 7, 8. All right. Little circles now. Going around, around, around. And coming back. Back the other way. Other leg. Circle around and around. 3 and 4. Circle back. 2, 3, and 4. You're almost done, I promise. Let's do some bike riding now. And push, push, pedal that bike. And 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other leg in, push. 2, 3, 4, and pedal. 6, 7, 8. Riding the bike backwards. Here we go. Back, back. 3, 4, and lift. 6, 7, 8. And the other leg. Ride it backwards. 2, 3, 4, and lift. And 6, and 7, and 8. All right, hopefully you got a little bit more workout with that section. Got your legs strong. So now we're ready just to stretch out and cool down. Going to cross one foot over the other knee. Again, if you can't do this, you can modify, keep both legs on the floor, or just cross in a normal knee cross. Lift up as tall as you can. We're going to lean out slowly. This is a really good stretch for a tight hip there. Stretch it out. Good. And now hold under the leg, just let it hang loose. Move that ankle joint. Probably feel some noises going on, that's perfectly fine. Get those ankles loosened up. Good. You do an extra little kick if you want. And down. All right, let's cross that other foot over, and here we go, over. Feel that hip stretching. I know one of my friends likes to stay in this pose a long time because it feels good. And come up. Again, holding under the knee, loose ankle. Move the ankle joints. And back. All right. Just fold your hands under your chin now. Let's do a slow breath, lifting the elbows. Good, stretching up in the ribs. Exhale. Back down. Again. Slow, easy breath. This expands your lungs. Exhale down. These slow breaths are really good if you're stressed or anxious or tense. And down. And just one hand up over upper chest, the other right here by your navel. This is one way to just check and see that you're getting nice full breaths all the way through and you're not shallow breathing in your upper body. As you breathe, you want to feel your lower hand move. Then your upper hand. As you exhale, press with the upper hand. Press with the lower hand, push the air out. Breathe in again so that the air gets all the way down here. Nice big breath. And exhale. Push that air out. This is definitely a good one for anxiety. And breathe in again. Big stress. Big stretch. Push that air back out. Good. Loosen our shoulders again. Get the stress out of their shoulders. Big rolls. Going back. Big shoulder rolls going forward. Stretch up. Exhale. Just hang over there just for a few seconds. Let your head go. Loosen the neck muscles. Just hanging. Also helps get blood to your head if you get lightheaded. All right, come up slowly. Rest your hands, just close your eyes. Relax the shoulders down. And now just listen to your breath. As you begin to cool down, your breath will get a little softer and slower. Your heartbeat will slow down. So with each breath, just let yourself feel a little more ease, a little more relaxed. And then right here, around your heart, just feel this little warm feeling of calmness. So that as you breathe, you feel that calmness radiating outwards. All through your body. And as you exhale, just let any stress go. As you breathe in, feel that calmness again, expanding. As you exhale, let any stress go. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, feel that calmness all the way through now, from head to toe. And exhale. Thank you for joining and doing this along with me today, and I hope you do this as much as you need to. Namaste.